All right. This is our education series, the 5 dimensions of education, and we're going to review them. The first dimension of education we talked about, the first dimension, was what I call the informative dimension. INFORMATIVE. The informative dimension. Now, the informative dimensions are subjects like history, um, and we'd also would go with geography, and we'll also go with languages, GAGE. These are all subjects that can be taught, as we suggested last time, on TV and on computers. And the role of the teacher is a guide to where the best programs are, where the best information can be found. So the teacher would not be imparting knowledge. The teacher would be guiding you to where the knowledge is on these 3 subjects. The second, what I call dimension of education, is the sciences. And the sciences, certainly, we'll write that again. Second is sciences, SCIENCE. And under the sciences, there are things that can be taught, and clearly, as an example for this program, CANS, KHAN, Academy, ACADEMY, is a perfect example of how the pure sciences can be taught. And of course, as you can see, again, computers can be used to teach this, as well as TV, better than any human being can, particularly with the advent of modern technology. Television and computers can impart very complicated, much more complicated examples than a human being can in a classroom setting. So these are the 2 that we're going to focus on, and we especially today are going to focus on the power of language, and we're going to make a proposition, and our proposition is that everyone should learn at least 2 languages. 2 languages. Now, our native language would be English, but we know that Spanish is probably a language that's spoken all over the world. We'd consider probably here that this is our mother tongue. English is your mother tongue. But that don't mean that you shouldn't learn Spanish or some other language as well. Languages do a couple of things. One, they connect us to the world. And in addition to connecting us to the world, they also connect us to other cultures. CULTURE, cultures. So we can see very clearly here that these languages are what affords us the opportunity to experience life in a different way. And naturally, the reason that English, which is more, I would say, universally spoken, commonly spoken, worldwide. The reason that it's not accepted is because there's probably a certain amount of prejudice um, toward it. And of course, English is perfectly capable of being spoken on a wider scale, a wider scale than most other languages, although it is not really the first language in the world. The first language in the world, as we said, first language of the world is Spanish. That's the first language of the world as far as population is concerned. The populations are concentrated, and then the second language that's spoken around the world, second language, is, of course, Chinese. Now, the Chinese society is a pretty closed society as far as people speaking that language is concerned, so it's not available as widespread as English. Now, if people drop their prejudice on English, English could certainly become a common language, even though Spanish people may say that Spanish should be the international language, but I think that the international language already is English and is spoken by everyone. So, by most people around the world. Again, there should be at least 2 languages spoken, and you will find that they will introduce you to the culture of different continents, different countries. Now, you probably ask the question, why is this of interest to the Forgive School? Again, the Forgive School is going to be talking about languages, and let's put that up here. Why is the Forgive School interested as one of the dimensions of learning in 2 languages? Well, there's obvious reasons why. Because the culture is laden with information, and a lot of times when you do source research, I call it source research, and you look at the religions of the world, you're going to easily want to track back to the original language so it can give you a perspective on things. But the mother tongue, in this case, which is English, gives us a certain feeling about our expressions, and they can help us understand things like love better and express it better, understand things like peace better, because language has a certain nuances. So for feelings and for sincerity, the mother tongue helps. I mean, we were born into, at least we were, and if you were Spanish, you were born into your mother tongue, which would be Spanish or Chinese or some other culture. But the idea is that as far as humanity is concerned, it would help to be able to speak at least speak English, Spanish, or Chinese, because as the future unfolds, and especially as we begin to examine the subject matter of the Forgive School, we're going to come across as original sources this kind of information.